I'll come.
We're live. Okay. Aloha, family and friends and followers, fans. Thank you guys for supporting the channel as always. Today we want to raise money for Maui. This content will be evergreen, so at some point it may not be obvious what we're talking about. Today is August 9th. The day after the 10th, August 10th, 2023, the day after the fires decimated an apocalyptic situation in Maui. Um, really affected our state and our people, and so our intention today is to be zero sales, zero real estate profits, none of that. If you feel it in your heart to go donate to the people of Hawaii, the people of Maui specifically, we're going to talk about that today. And to hold your attention, I envision this something like those telethons when we were younger, where they would have like a fundraiser and there's all these phones and oh yeah, we're gonna Joe from Indiana donated $1,000 or whatever. Except for we don't have that today. We have some funds to direct you towards. So first and foremost, there are all sorts of GoFundMe campaigns and things of that nature. They're all great. We particularly have family, friends that Mahi and I will, and our team in general, will probably directly be helping, and putting our energy and money there. But also, we vetted out and feel at this time, Hawaii Community Foundation, they're matching up to
not this one.
No.
The match one is
Kākoʻo
Maui Fund, which is Council for Native Hawaiian Affairs.
They're matching up to $1 million, and we are short of 400,000, so quite a way to go. Even if this is in months from now and this has been met, there was another large fundraiser going where, we wanted structure to the disbursement, a little bit more structure than just like a person distributing. That could be amazing as well, because the people of Hawaii are so amazing individuals. I'm sure do amazing things. This had a little bit more structure, and since our content is evergreen, Kākoʻo Maui, Kenj, we have these links in the description. All right, so you can go there and donate. Also, the Maui Strong Fund. This is heavy. We've been in a state of mourning. Me, I personally don't have family in Lahaina. I have friends on and from Maui I've checked up on. We have real estate partners we've checked up on. But Mahe, who is family, has family and people we care about, such as Jess and Kevin, and these people are affected. And so I want to jump right into the gravity and grab your attention and pull on your hearts a little bit. This is a public page. Do you know this person?
No, a lot of people I know have been sharing her stuff.
It's impactful.
Because she's living in it and experiencing it, and a lot of what we're getting is secondhand, third-hand information, right? Just like, who do we know who has reception? Who do we know that has gotten out? Who do we know who has left behind and has power that we can talk to? Hey, have you heard from so and so? Hey, do you know what's going on with so and so? It's been like a lot of that. But
so we're gonna tell stories today. Some with anonymity, because the people, we're gonna respect their privacy. Some are third party, so we'll full disclosure that who knows what may or may not have been accidentally. The realities may be worse, maybe not as bad. Who knows? But and then we're gonna talk about Maui. What Lahaina really was, not just the tourist town, but the roots of Lahaina. talk about Maui versus Oahu. This is like a real estate channel overall. So I know what you come here for is a bit of entertainment and information. And I think that's fine. We want to be respectful about whatever we say today, but that's fine. And yeah, so I'm going to read this update 8:10, 8:18 a.m. We have no idea what is happening or what's being done to help. Hearing what's going on, or sorry, let me pull this a little closer to me. Oh shit, I cannot. Let me go closer to it. Hearing what's going to be done versus living it are two totally different views. We are living in this reality where the world is comfortable. The world is comfortable. We are figuring out how to survive. We are in desperate need of gas for our vehicles, diesel, and regular food, preferably non-refrigerated. There's no electricity on the west side, ice, water, all sizes. Survival will start to kick in, especially Lahaina Luna, Honokoi, Kahana, Napili. Everything is closed. Tourists need to get out and leave. We have nothing for them. I know many want to help. The problem. The problem is you go out, you cannot go back in, which if you're a local resident, you should be let back in. I really need my eye medicine from the doctors at Kaiser. We are conserving our gas because all gas stations are closed. We have no reception. You have to go onto the beach. What? And luckily have 2 bars. We also cannot go home. It's too hot. Wow, it's still hot. And there's hot spots. We're staying at Honuakai. We're staying at Honuakai. If anyone can make it here, find our vehicles parked. You'll see us in the villas upstairs. I want to show another one just to show the gravity and how do I get out of this and the depth of this. Don't mind my computer. This Stolen Stuff Hawaii is a Facebook page that's like really, it's kind of like a town square for negative stuff a lot of the time, but in tragedy, a lot of people get eyes on this channel. So this person is obviously from the mainland. Please help me find my parents, Jameson Beach and Leanne Lave Beach. They were located at a hotel in Lahaina, Maui, celebrating their honeymoon. Any information you could provide, please message me. This is their phone number. If you've seen them on any list, please text me and reach out. I just want to know they're safe. I think they're staying at a place called the Mauian in Lahaina. There's more. We know of people who their family's missing. Grandma's missing, cannot not to be found yet. On all the lists and all the shelters. There's a video which maybe I can work to bring up in a little bit. So because everyone who watches this channel may or may not have followed it as closely as we have over the last day or so. There's this video of a person saying they're driving, they're trying to get out of Lahaina, and there's 3 people in the car, 3 men, and you hear them going, oh my god, and they're like, oh, it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot, and they're in the car, mind you, right? They're trapped in the car, or they're in the car trying to get on. They're like, it's getting hot, so they're basically in an oven. That's all. Like the flames are so big, so close to them, and then there's a person laying on the street, and the guy saying, "Dad, you cannot stop. You cannot do nothing for her." And all kind of people can pass all kind of judgment, but we don't understand, right? Like, who knows how hot it was in there? Was their car already at 150 degrees? Were they beating sweat? Was that person obviously there for, like, there's so much going on, were they getting to their children? But that was one of the heaviest videos I saw, and kind of when my heart started to crush. Here in Hawaii, we have a certain communal feel, and I guess the unintended, like, beautiful part of this is how Hawaii unites. Um, so, if you're just tuning in or you've been watching, or this is, years from now, months from now, whatever, it's going to take millions and millions of dollars over a lot of time to rebuild this community. The Maui Strong Fund, which is in our description, and Kākoʻo Maui, which is matching up to $1 million and still has a lot to go. We just want you guys to go there and contribute if you can. Mahi, our team, we're going to be going to Costco today, getting supplies. It's going to be taken down to take over to Maui, I think, in the next day or two. And then following that, personally, helping the families that are close to us as well. We on this stream, we're gonna get into, our goal is like how my team here was like, how can we like be in our lane, like real estate stuff and help at the same time? And the general answer was like, I don't even want to say the word real estate on this thing, like no profit whatsoever. And thinking of things today, I have insurance agents who I'm close to in my family and ask them for advice on things that people should know about their homes. Now that's of value to you, if you're on the mainland or you're on Oahu or Big Island, and maybe it's time to check your insurance policy. Also, we'll have some information about mortgages, right? So hopefully someone on Maui, at least one person who has a home and is confused about, do I have to make my payments or whatever? Like, we'll mention some of that stuff later too. There's certain things that happen that protect you when an emergency is declared by the government. Mahi, we were just celebrating. Like, we were lucky. We went to Maui a couple times recently and got to see Lahaina in all its beauty. You personally, because you live there, how long? You live in Maui how long?
10 years. And the first few years were on the west side.
And so you like ran, you worked on the beach with the tourists.
And I worked there. And
from all the way up the west side.
Yeah.
From Kihei
all the way to when I left.
Kanapalia.
Yeah. To Papua. And the people I worked with or who worked for me were, live in Lahaina, work in Lahaina. Thankfully, I was able to get in touch with all of those people.
As all the way up until this morning, you were still unsure of if a close friend was alive, right?
Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back from a few people for the past couple of days, like how a lot of people are, right? And always the thought is just, cell towers are down, the power is out. Like, stay positive, they're okay. Like, knowing him, he's probably, he's stupid. He just used his truck to go do whatever. Like, he's helping, so he can't. He's too busy. And I finally did hear back from like the last person that I personally, was waiting to hear back from, and he's okay. So that's good. But a lot of friends and family are, and there are Google Docs that show like lists of people that are being looked for, who have been located, who, families are looking for kupuna, looking for their loved ones, or maybe people who, because Lahaina too is one of those towns where not just the people who live there too, but a lot of people worked at the resorts there too. So a lot of people were at the resorts and their families all over trying to find them, and they were on shift at, wherever. So there's still a lot of people that are waiting for good news, and I'm very happy to say that I have been receiving good news, so that's good. But that's
still at least one person missing though, right?
Yeah.
And I would say more so it's my circle because it's Mahi's circle and I've been introduced to these people. But I was talking with her as unrelated, just we were conversing over the last couple of days. Ken, can you go to the map? So for people that aren't as familiar with Maui, here's a Google map view. And Maui looks like I don't know, peanut. What do you call it? What do you call it? Like, it's like
That's the head of Maui. It's a person to me.
that's a person.
Yeah.
No, they call it the Valley Owl because like so much of Maui's population is right here in this valley, and um, the west side on all the islands is the dry side, right? And so Mahe lived Kihe, um, and worked this stretch all the way from where?
Kapalua.
All the way from Kapalua, which is basically the end of like resorts and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, right? All the way down to Wailea. So this whole like third of the island. When we went to Maui for one of them, this girl came up and was like, "Hey, you paddled, yeah? You're the paddler chick, huh?" So I didn't believe her before that she even paddled, but the fires are right here.
Mhm.
Again, I want to make so much impact at the beginning of this, so sorry not sorry on the heart throbbing and pulling on the heartstrings, because we hope people go in to our description, go to the links and donate now and forever. You text me and you were like, you told me like, I have friends whose husbands are cops, firefighters, and they're using words like apocalyptic,
Mhm.
etc.
Mhm.
Cannot talk about what they've seen.
Mhm. Yeah.
I hope that this is not official. We're not the news. We're not the government. I hope that this is inaccurate and has been, due to the stress of things, has been exaggerated. I hope, but you conveyed to me that the people said like the body count has to be in the hundreds.
Yeah.
People in the streets, children not able to get out, even people in the water, right?
Mhm. People escaping into the water.
People, which is great, but how is it deep when you go out into the water?
There's reef all over there too, and not just that, but it's just like
So it's not like sandy where you can go wastewater, like waist high, and just sit there. And it's probably where it was relatively shallow. It's probably still super hot
Mhm.
with fires that large.
Mhm. And it's windy as hell, and
So the concern is that people drown, people burn, especially our kupuna, our older population are the most vulnerable, right? And because if they're not mobile, how they're going to get out.
yeah, and it's so like weird to talk about because on the one hand I like don't even want to be here kind of,
I know.
and I don't even want to talk about it, but like I like want to be there. I want to like hug people.
And
But
so go ahead.
whatever it's gonna take to get people to understand that these families need our help, So my daughter, who I hugged so tight last night, we had been like following these fires on, Maui because that's where our family is, and thank goodness. And I should make mention to my kid's dad who lives on Maui. He's fine, thankfully. Him and his other half and their new baby, their beautiful new baby, they're in an area that is safe, not impacted by this. So thank God they're okay. So we always are, and we have all of our friends and family there. So we are always, tracking it. But
You were just there a few days ago.
and I was just like, okay, well, yeah, I was just there dropping my kids off. They're there all the time still, and they're like, okay, it sounds like it's getting contained. The report I heard was that Kula upcountry was still going, and also let's like not forget that Kula needs help too. Like, I think many houses are gone up country as well, so not just Lahaina, it's everywhere up country as well. The initial reports were like over 1,000 acres burned. in the upcountry area. I think my dad talked to my auntie who lives upcountry this morning, and she said, like 25 homes or something. Who knows? Like, again, we're not the news. We're just like telling you what we're hearing.
Yeah, we're like, people who come to us to do business, it's like, I think part of it is like, oh, like we're in the coconut wireless when we work with Derek and Mahi.
Yeah.
And that's not the point of today, but it's just a different angle. Hopefully
Yeah.
some people to follow it from like, hey, two local people who have Maui connections, who like, how are they experiencing it? What are they hearing? What are they feeling?
Yeah. And
So just a different perspective to ultimately, in our description, raise funds at Kākoʻo
Yeah.
Maui and the Maui Strong Fund.
but I had thought that, because they had talked about the fire in Lahaina, and they had said that they were reporting that it was contained, and that's what I thought. And it was afternoon, not yesterday, but day before yesterday, where my kids were home from school, and my daughter tells me that her, like her best friend over there, who was daughter to somebody extremely special to me, who's like second mom to my kids, that her friend's dad, or her friend called her to tell her that her dad's place burned down in Lahaina. And I was like, what? No. Like, I'm like, okay, are you getting that straight? Because what I'm seeing is that it's contained, and everything's okay.
What time is this? You're getting this call?
Maybe like 4:00, I want to say, because they were both home now from school. So 4, something like that. And no, it burned down, and he had to run away. He had to run on foot to get away. The whole place burned down. I'm like, no, that's not possible. And then I'm hearing, Front Street Apartments burned down, which is where family of me live. I'm like, no, that's that whole building. There's no way that that's true,
Yeah.
like, because just a half an hour ago when I checked, everything was fine.
Yeah.
It was contained. So just to speak to how fast this happened, a mile a minute is like,
is that what they said?
they were saying like a mile a minute.
Oh, I didn't.
With-
wow.
So just to speak to how quickly this happened and how catastrophic this is for people who are just at home, who are at work, who are doing whatever, for it to turn on its head like that so quickly, and for it to become this like run for your life situation. Like, I know people who, like in the paddling community, who have everything I own is in a half full backpack, and that's all they have. That's all they have now. Their home's gone. And it's like weird, because I like get the relief of like hearing from somebody I love, I'm okay, I'm safe. But then the next sentence is, my home is gone. I've lost everything.
Yeah.
So it's like you feel the relief of like, oh, thank God I heard from them. Thank God they're okay. But like what are they gonna do now?
Yeah.
Like the place, businesses, 505 Front Street, where like my tattoo parlor was, my friend who owns that shop, Chucky, who lives up country as well.
I commute from upcountry to Lahaina. Wow.
And it's just like, it happened so fast that we won't know, because they are in the process of search and rescue and clean up and putting the fires out and all of that. But
still fighting the fires.
But it's just like, if you even just look at the aerial views, like, it's so heartbreaking to see everything just leveled the way that it is, like.
In Hawaii, we have this, like if you watch Avatar, a couple of things about the Avatar reference. This banyan tree, this is a tree, yeah?
Yeah.
This banyan tree, when I went, because I never really been to Lahaina like that, and Mahi was showing me around, and Kenji behind the camera, I think, was more familiar, but not, a local like Mahi. And they're like, this banyan tree, and I was like, which one? And they're like, no, which banyan tree? Like, this tree had like connected and grown together over, like it seemed as if it was its own little park of trees, but it's like one tree like a mother tree, like on Avatar or something. Oh, what happened? And let me go back to the screen. What's going on? And so there's this tree, and that's kind of like the geographic thing in that kind of tourist town square is this banyan tree, and it's charred. Hopefully, obviously human life, local and tourist, etc., is the most important. But hopefully, this
But even
be,
you can just see, look at Pioneer Inn, that huge
what is
building.
Pioneer Inn?
This huge
one
building here to the left is just completely gone, leveled.
that doesn't even exist
It's not
anymore.
even there anymore. And
And that's the thing about like Lahaina, like Front Street. The whole charm of it is older plantation style wooden buildings, and and so that's part of why the town is so kind of fire so fast. But to the Avatar thing, if you've watched the movie Avatar and you see how they're kind of like Native Americans, kind of like Hawaiians, where like the land, you don't own the land, and what a hypocrite, we do real estate, but I'm fine with having a title to the land or whatever. But in Hawaii, like if you litter in Hawaii, like someone might fight with you, like, wow, why are you littering? If you're cutting down a tree and it's not legal or something, like someone might go protect that tree, but not in like a California tree hugger way, but like in a like, like this is like, we are of the land, like us as people, this is our land, we are of the land, and there's just a different thing. And in addition to that, we are, please, we're gonna get, there's a question I just heard, please stack up your questions, we're happy to address it. That's what we do here. But also like community, we're we're like an indigenous people, Hawaiians, and even non-Hawaiians, they're like Hawaiians in terms of their driver's license. Just Hawaii is a different place, a different vibe, and we're highly biased because this is us, this is our people, our land. And the last 24 hours, what this whole time has been like, it's been the gravity of it, it's been like a state of mourning. Like there's just I experienced fires in California and devastation in California, and I love all people, and I even have a story maybe I'll tell way later about something that happened in California. But it could be an island like Kākoʻo. If you go to the map, you see this little island here. The U.S. military bombed this island, used it for bombing practice, broke the watershed. It can never be lived on again, and all so on and so forth. The Hawaiian people like cried out and risked their lives to protect it, however, just because it's land. Obviously, the number one thing here is loss of human life, and I'm just trying to express the gravity, the grief and the mourning of the people of Maui, the people of our state. And another thing, I talked to my dad this morning, and he said, I was like, Dad, because he said, oh, you've been busy, because I just left, and when I leave, I'm making sure to call him every day. And I always try to call him every day, but if I miss a couple of days later on, he gets it. But he's like, bro, you just left, I'm missing you. And I was like, well, Dad, I was just focused on this yesterday and just kind of consumed by it. And he was like, oh no, we even have this Hawaiians in Tennessee Facebook page. And he's like, people are crying, and people are, the local people from Tennessee are just devastated. And it's interesting. I bet you get local people never even been to Maui, but like, that's Hawaii. Hawaii's hurting, so they're hurting, Yeah. We had a question? Yeah, we read it. Okay, Kenji's gonna read a question to us.
Yeah, one question.
Do you have a mic? Or
Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Derek. This is from Eric Chan. Hi, Derek. Just donated to Ko'o Maui, since they're matching up to $1 million.
Thank you.
How can we how can we personally donate to you
Mhm.
so that you can buy more food and water to be delivered to the people of Maui?
I don't want to take money.
Yeah, I would say just put it to those donations and those fundraisers.
Um, I mean, I would love for if J and T need help, uh, but we're not. So we have some very specific families on Maui that it would be beautiful if we're positioned for that. Right now, uh, we don't. We're not. I would say, you know what? Text me. Send a text to the number. Ideally, just donate to those funds. If you just feel like, hey, I did that, and thank you.
Yeah.
Um, maybe we will get a Venmo of for that family and connect you to them if that's something. The thing about Hawaii people too, like there's a humility and what's the word? I'm like a modesty. Yeah, it maybe comes from our Asian influence and the Hawaiian, legacy. But I I hope that that's not the case. I hope people are willing to receive help, but we just don't know. And I don't want to take anyone's money. So thank you for that question. Thank you, just in general, and let us know where you're from, Eric. Like, where are you from? How long you been watching the channel? Thank you. Any more questions, comments in the
Follow up on the lahaina tree from Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Sam?
From New York Times. I guess he's getting it from New York Times. Lahaina's historic banyan tree is scarred but standing. Planted in 1873, the tree has grown to cover more than half an acre. County officials say it, quote, looks burned, end quote, after the Maui fires, but the roots may still be healthy.
I hope so.
Yeah. Just for symbology, right?
Mm.
Like, if that tree is still there, it's like like it's September 11th. If there was still, something, I don't know, but just for symbolic reasons, that would be amazing. I talked to my dad this morning, and my dad, love you, dad, most important, person out of my family, and he's negative. My dad's 79, an old man, old Japanese Hawaiian man, and it could be negative about things like, it's junk. They don't know what they're doing, and it can be kind of a negative Nancy and pessimist, but he was like, nah, that tree's gonna live, that tree's gonna come back. And I was like, I enjoyed that, talking to him today. He was just like, nah, it's gonna, they're gonna rebuild, and that tree's gonna be good. And you don't get that from from my old dad, my old man dad all the time. So I love that. What I want to address the tourist thing. So you're probably gonna see. I was born on the mainland, moved to Hawaii mid childhood, left for the Coast Guard, came back, live here now. Like, I consider myself, local, and Hawaii's my home, but I'm a mix. But the beautiful part about that is I kind of get both sides. Like, when Hawaiian people mad at mainland people for something, or mainland people are offended, like, I understand both. It's just two foreign, entities communicating differently. Right now, when people are like, get the hell out of Maui, leave, you got to understand. The island's strapped for resources. They need time to heal. It's no different than when someone falls on a basketball court. It's like, oh, no, don't crowd. Like, get back. They need time, they need space, and they need the professionals to help them. This is the same, but at mass scale, right? Like, Maui, at any given time, I don't know the stats, but at any given time, there's probably, the percentage of tourists versus the percentage of locals, probably at least third of the island is tourists at any given time. I don't know. There's a lot of tourists. And right now, we were just discussing, like, if I go over there, just do work. Just pour into the place and move sandbags or like food or something. I want to do that. But at the same time, they need, the island doesn't have enough water, toilet paper, food. Like they got to make basic, rice. Like in the mainland, it'd be like rice and beans. Over here, it'd be like rice and spam plates or something. Like there's only so many resources on that island. And so when people are saying leave, uh, just don't take it personal. They want time and space to heal, and tourism is not the priority right now. Also, if you have a trip planned, we respectfully convey that message as well. Like if you're going in the next week or two, or until the government of Maui invites you, maybe deter, come to Oahu, maybe, or a different trip. And that's hard for us because I'm a business person, right? I look at it economically. You need tourism on Maui economically. You need it in Hawaii. Those effects are immediate, but they're also going to last for years. I'm sure we can have like Grassroot Institute of Hawaii talk about it eventually, but like, and come on my other podcast, but like these effects economically will last forever. But the most important thing right now is get out of Maui, and don't come until appropriate.
And if you love Maui, if you love Hawaii, and you always come, or you always wanted to come, like, or if you were planning to come, you're saving some money to come this year or whatever it might be, like if you can just give a small portion of that for these funds to help heal the island, like consider that. Consider putting some of your dream fund to help rebuild the community that you love from afar. That's amazing too, and that would be greatly appreciated as well.
And you know what though, in months from now or whenever is appropriate, come and spend your money and get your breakfast and tip your local waitress, and like that's beautiful when the time is right. But it's just not right now. Feel free to ask any questions. Yeah.
This was from Caffeine Addict. Where's the rich Hollywood stars that have homes there? Are they helping? What about Zuckerberg?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll see it a lot from people posting, like put your money where your mouth is, right? You love Maui, you own property on Maui. Like, I don't know. I don't personally know what, if anything, everybody is doing, but I hope so. I hope that these, massive landowners, celebrities who call, and not just celebrities, like, hey, if you have a second property that's just vacant on Maui and you have all this wealth on Maui, like I hope you're pouring into the community that you spend just part of your time in too, like
Maui is that place. Yeah, Maui's that place. When we flew into Maui last time, when just you and I went, I noticed the private jets. Like there's a part of the airport just private jet.
There are a lot of very wealthy people who love Maui and make it their second, third, whatever home. Like,
yeah,
I hope that they are also pouring into the community right now as heavily as the people who like already the local community. They're everywhere. I'm sure everywhere, all over the place, is struggling as it is, and this is just like a massive hit that some people just really, I'm sure a lot of people like, how are we going to come back from this? So if you are blessed enough to have a little bit extra, every little bit counts. If you have a lot extra, hey, a lot counts too. So whatever you guys can do.
Yeah, and we respect, like, just emotionally, I want to do everything. I have to be calculated about. I have a family, I have a future, but many hands make light work, right? And so a little bit goes a long way when many hands are making light work. What is Lahaina? Lahaina is a tourist town, right?
So if you look on CNN, this is something that I was talking about this morning. A lot of people I know are,
people are offended,
but also at the same time, like, people outside of Hawaii have a very skewed perception of Hawaii. So when the national news reports like famous tourist destination decimated, or
Small kind of offensive, right?
it's
But
yeah.
we're not here to be victims
No.
in that sense. But just let us tell you what Lahaina really was, right?
So not only are the people of Lahaina, I want to say like thriving, because we're not, they're not right now, but not only is this a community strong, they're bonded, they come together, local tourists, tourism, transplants, everybody is small, it has a very small community feel, but also Lahaina is like a historical place in Hawaii that was once the capital of the Hawaiian kingdom. I don't think everybody knows that. It's not just Front Street is not just where people shopped, like it's also where royalty loved to play and have their time there. And
Lahaina was like stated as the capital.
Lahaina was the capital.
Oh, I never know that.
Lahaina was once the capital. So it's, we have royalty buried there. We have historical roots of our ali'i there in Lahaina, right there, this exact place that, this is all happening. So it's not just, it's not just a tourist town. It's a community of local transplant, everybody. It just, man, the people I know from Lahaina it's such a, like a mixture, and they all just really are, it just feels like such a small town, like everybody kind of
Yeah.
knows each other, everybody, you see everybody. And I'm like when I'm talking to my sister, Jessica, who I love, and her family,
Yeah.
they're talking about like when they're going out and they're like getting stuff they need, like the people who are out, who are, like maybe they're in Wailuku, they escaped to families' houses in Kihei, Wailuku, wherever, Kahului, but yeah, wherever they're at now, Lahaina people see each other. They're seeing each other in Walmart. They're seeing each other out and about, and they're hugging and they're grieving together, but they're happy to see each other. Like that's the kind of community it is, and it's a very special place. It's a very, they say Lahaina strong. The Lunas, Lahaina Luna. It's a very strong community of people who stick together, which is beautiful because they need it. But let's let them know that, they don't got to be strong by themselves. Like we can help them too. Like we can all be strong with them and for them. But yeah, important to note, it's not just a tourist town. It's more than that. It's special to the people who are there, the people who are from there, the people who grew up there, the people who have ties there. It's special to Hawaiians. It's special to the community. It's special to, the Hawaiian kingdom. It's special in many, many ways. So let's keep that in mind too when we're, and you know what? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at, I'm sad. I'm like a little annoyed and irritated to see or to read the words tourist town destroyed. Like that's irritating because it's not, that's not how I look at it. That's not how everybody I know looks at it. But at the same time, like I saw like freaking Viola Davis posted something on her Instagram about
Who's
like
that?
what famous,
Who's Viola?
like A-list famous celebrity actress.
Really?
Yeah. Who posted something about,
Yeah.
that like whatever's going to get it out there, like nationally, like
Yeah.
whatever little like misstep in, misnomer in labeling what it is,
Who cares?
whatever, I'll take that as long as we can get, eyes on it, more eyes on it to show people what is happening here in Hawaii, which nobody know. It's like Hawaii is one of those places that nobody knows too much about, but everybody just loves and they're not sure why,
Yeah.
But
But you know what? At the same time, I want to acknowledge,
Mhm.
right? So I think the energy and the mourning for Maui is worldwide because Maui is so important to so many people. Like there's so many people who's there. When I lived in California, I knew it was like a cheat code. If I was in a setting, I would say,
I'm from Hawaii.
"Oh, I'm from Hawaii," and they'd be like, "Oh, I go to." The most common would be, "Oh, I go to Maui every year." Oh yeah, we love Maui. We go to Lahaina. We go to Wailea. Like that was the most common thing that we would that I would hear.
What is this?
This I'm just playing impactful.
Is this somebody's video
Yeah,
from
this
the
is
plane?
somebody's video. And so I would always get like, oh yeah, you know, I'm from Maui. We love Maui. We love Maui. Our clients, Mike and Jessica. Jessica
Oh,
is
yeah.
like, we've been going there for 15 years or something. Like,
Yeah.
so many memories in Lahaina. That's where we go. We go to Lahaina. Just so many, like thousands and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. Like Maui, like they would love to live Maui, but they cannot. They going to Maui every year, every few years is an important part of their existence on this earth because Hawaii is that special, you know. Um, all of Mother Earth is special, right? But it's not like, you know, Arkansas every year, you know, in the same way. Maybe for some people, but Hawaii is that like people will save up their entire life to do that one trip to Maui, um, or their entire year, and then Maui's where they spend it every time. And so the impact is local, and that's what's, you know, super and most important to us. But for all those people, you know, like Maui was their spot. Like we hope that you will help out and go to these websites that are in our description. CHNA, the council, what is it?
Council for Native Hawaiian Affairs.
Oh, I read it wrong. CNHA. I was like, how come the H in front of the N then? All right. Council for Native Hawaiian Affairs, Kākoʻo Maui Fund. They're matching up to $1 million. And then the Maui Strong Fund. And remember, this is going to take months, if not years, to rebuild. So there really will never be enough. I understand. Like, I grew up poor, right? And so I don't want to give, you know, a bunch of money if no need, but need, like, it'll take a really long time. And the mental health, like, you know, one of the husbands in Mahi's circle, like he came home from all the 24 hours of like, just at a certain point, it'd probably be unsafe for him to work. And that's when they say go home, and couldn't talk about it.
Yeah, and
They
I know
don't want to
some
acknowledge
other.
it. The PTSD is going to, that's going to affect this community, our people, for
Yeah.
ever, you know.
Yeah, and let's give a big mahalo and send lots of love also to first responders who are, and the MFD, MPD, everybody out there who have been there through all of this and who are seeing things, our boots on the ground, that are like, you know, unspeakable things that they can't even talk about. You know, had like a brother friend, you know, who law enforcement tell me like, you know, this is literally the worst 2 days of like my entire career cutting, like, and the things that I'm seeing is just like the worst. And just hug your kids, you know. And like, it's very, I know bad things happen all the time everywhere, but it's just so close to home.
Yeah.
And it's so many people that I know personally their lives are just going to be very different forever, you know, because of this.
Where you got go full screen. All right. So Kenji, our media partner, is telling us to go, content director is telling us to go full screen. So this is a video we did. I guess it would have said in the description whenever we did it, but this whole coast, this coast that was affected, we went here and filmed, and this was the time I was referencing. I was like, oh, I'm glad we did this because we were able to see Maui in all its glory. And you know, Mahi goes back all the time, but she's not like going to Lahaina to cruise necessarily because she's, you know, taking care of family business. And so thankfully we got her there too at that time.
Yeah.
I think this is where we're starting to enter that area. Yeah. Poco. Oh, Mahi had to talk to the lady because they kicked us out of the neighborhood we weren't supposed to be in. Wait. Oh. So right behind Mahi here, like over there is like where all these fires were starting to happen.
right down that hill.
This is on fire. No, this is like,
That's a canoe beach, so we're past it here. Front Street is a little bit more. This
oh, we
way.
already went past it.
Yeah.
No, okay. So we never really get footage, I guess, in the
We
Lahaina.
drove through Front Street.
I know we went through it, but I guess we didn't get it. One of the real estate partners that we work with on Maui, he like kind of a sort of team member. He's safe and alive. Left through like Kākoʻo side, and now they said kind of go back. So they're in Wailuku, stuck. But they're alive. You know, they're alive, and in Wailuku, hopefully someone's either housing them or they're at Maui Memorial. Or is it War Memorial?
War Memorial, Maui High. Those are the two big ones. I think also, I mean, I don't know if anybody actually on Maui is watching this, but and I'm sure you guys all know where to go. But War Memorial is taking donations, I believe, until 6 p.m. And they're housing a lot of displaced people. So definitely, if you're on island, you can donate. Even if you're on Oahu, if you're here and you want to help, you want to kokua, you want to drop off non-perishables, water, blankets, towels, first aid stuff. I know they're asking for like saline for wound care and gauze, all that kind of stuff. I know the stevedores are doing a big push to get stuff over there. Couple of locations, UFC Mililani, UFC Kailua, any of the Keep It Simple locations on island. I know there's one in Kaimuki.
What is Keep It Simple?
It's a store, a storefront. They're just accepting donations and they're dropping it off to barge to be shipped over. So
I wanna keep playing on your emotions and holding your attention so that we get more and more viewers and more donations, just to be quite frank. It's kind of how we do business, and in the business of helping Maui, that's what we're doing. So we'll talk. If you have questions that are just Maui questions, hey, what about this about Maui, just general stuff to prompt us, then please, if you can go to my screen. Okay, yeah, we'll go to questions after this. Mahe screenshotted this as well. Trying to find peace and stillness, but waking up with night terrors and crying. Nighttime is dead silence, and I can hear screams, spiritually speaking. The death counts keep rising. People were in vehicles, little kids, babies, people still in homes, bodies all over the road. My home, my friends, family, community. Right now, we are surviving with what we have. And, you want to find, there's a time to shift to pause and shift to positivity. And there's always room for positivity, right? But fact of the matter is, they were at 6 bodies. They were at 6 deaths yesterday. We woke up, they were at 36, I believe. And it's going to rise. Probably by the time, if we Googled it right now, I'm sure the body count's even higher. It's really bad, it's really bad. And so if you can donate again to the links in our description, we appreciate it. You have comments?
Yep, we got. It's kind of a bigger one. But
Yeah, give it.
Okay.
Bring the negativity.
We got that.
What'd they say?
I don't want to read the word for it.
You got a negative comment.
I'm going to donate as much as the federal government donated to my flooded home on Lake Ontario when it flooded due to Obama. 0.
well, thank you
Okay.
for watching.
Yeah.
Wonderful to have you here.
I mean, that person's experience, and what's their name? What's their screen name? Anon. Yeah, you would be Anon. Your experience and your attitude is not conducive. So
Here's a more positive one from Patrick. My mom's house burned to the ground, 1600 Lokia Street. I want to offer a space in my home for a displaced local resident. My street alone has 120 homes on the block.
Awesome. The people we know have family on the other parts of Maui who are able to house them. But yeah, with that, like there's so many other media outlets that are Maui local and specific that I'm sure um, do a better job of redirecting people to housing. But I also have a place to house people, um, and it, we're looking at using that for the people that are closest to us. So I appreciate it. Uh, there there's certainly no shortage of people in need of housing on Maui, which is why they're asking tourists to leave so that they can house the local people in those hotels. And yeah, okay,
And I mean, just like an idea, if you're like an Airbnb owner, maybe like hold off on making reservations for a couple of days, because I know that there's a lot of displaced people in Lahaina right now who have no reception and who are like thinking ahead of like, where can we book a place or where can we go temporarily, and don't have access to anything. And I'm sure those places will all get filled up. Like, I don't know what
yeah.
the move is here, but
We respect you. Here, I mean, if can, right?
yeah.
If can help out. Um, like when you lived on Maui,
Hmm.
like would you go to Lahaina or would you just drive through Lahaina?
I mean, I worked out there, so I was there all the damn time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
One of your guys' like beach rental locations was in that area.
yeah. And so we did Ka'anapali, Kapalua, but also just all of those dudes, all of like my brothers, who worked with me, they all lived on that side. So, and there would be things like brush fires, right? Would
When we
close
went, you were telling me, right, it was always brush fires right
that would
here.
close the
Yeah.
road, and I'd spend time out there. Um, Friends live out there, family live out there, canoe paddling events out there all the time at Canoe Beach. Like, and also when we lived out there too, I'm like looking at, you look at the footage of, you're looking at it from the ocean, from these aerial shots, and you can see just to the right of Banyan Tree, there was King Kamehameha the Third, that elementary school there, which is like, oh, I just feel for these families and the staff and the community there, because it's just gone. My daughter went to that school. My daughter was in junior K at that school. Like, it's just it's just gone. Like, it's just such like a special. And I think it's hard to look at these videos and footage. Like, it's always hard to see that, but it's really hard when it's like, when I look at that, I'm like, oh, that's where Joey's ballet recital was, and
Yeah.
that's where I used to sit in the parking lot when with Brooke when he was a baby to wait for Joey to get out of school. That's where their dad used to work. That's where we used to live. That's where so and so lives. That's where so and so lives. And just to see it's just, and to know, like, that's my tattoo shop. Oh, that's where we go hang out after. Oh, this is where,
The block.
yeah, this is where we
Work
go.
out.
This is where we go down the hatch, like after regattas, to go have some drinks.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
all of that stuff's gone. Like,
Hey guys, don't donate to us here. Please don't send us money here. We don't. Thank you, first of all, Transoid. You donated, and thank you so much. We'll take that $20. We'll spend more at Costco today. But we want you to donate to the funds that we have in our description, and that's the Council for Native Hawaiian Affairs, Kākoʻo Maui Fund. They're matching up to $1 million, as well as the Maui Strong Fund. We don't want any money. We're paying attention to your comments, so make sure getting your comments. Tell us maybe your experiences on Maui. Let's celebrate it at the same time. And if you just have questions about Maui, we're not opposed to just what's the difference in the east side and the west side. We really want to it's full transparency. This is how we do business and how we consult you and do other things, is like radical transparency. My intention today is to hold your attention for as long as possible, so that you go to the links in our descriptions and donate to rebuilding Maui, to, you know, all of the things that money will go to, the mental health, the PTSD, the just you guys know how it goes. And you know, we're gonna be doing it not only at Costco today, but um, you know, directly with the families that we're the closest with and helping out how we can. Um, Transoid said, I was just watching the downtown Lahaina walk video last week. Caffeine Addict, big box stores like Costco, Sam's, Wally World. Oh, there's no Wally World here. Should donate water along with the beverage companies. Inflation is hard on everyone right
I
now.
heard something was maybe going to happen with some of those, but I don't know what all action plans have been made. But
It's actually a client, Sa. What's up, Sa? He he said he works at he's called me from Costco, like from the break room. He's like, oh, how's it Hawaiian, bro? Thinking about investing. And I was, and he said that Costco is putting together something. I'm sure they're gonna have like pallets in the front. It's like, buy this pallet, send it on the pier. You know, that would be a great idea. Like just buckets and pallets and items. Like you can buy this, no need to like put it in your cart. Just we'll send it. That would be awesome. So Costco is putting Costco Hawaii, which Costco is a huge part of Costco is a huge part of Hawaii culture because it's so expensive, right? And so they're putting together something as well. This message is held for review. Donate emergency supplies Saturday. You can donate food. Yeah, I'll hit show. Well, so someone put a comment and YouTube wasn't necessarily going to show it, but they're not asking for money. Thank you, Ethan. And I've seen Ethan before in here, so mahalo, Ethan. We called it Cam 3 from kindergarten on. I will miss every memory. Patrick, thank you for your comment. So sad, the loss of life, prayers to their families, so many historic structures to Hawaii's early history and priceless artifacts gone. Prayers to those who lost their home and business. Were there other specific ones you wanted me to read? Nereida reached out to us personally as well, and we appreciate you. She was one of the people that said, hey, how can I help? Just her message was just, how can I help, or something to that effect. Nereida, Mahi, I can see you are broken. We are with you. My family can't donate money, but we are getting together to collect clothes, and I figure out a way to send it to our connection in Big Island. Thank you. That's awesome. You know, not everyone's in a position to just, you know, throw $1,000, but some people are. You know, some people are in a position to throw $5. Like we said, many hands make light work. And you know, thank you guys in advance.
Yeah, this one, I feel this one. This is so devastating. It's this from Ethan. It's hard to have a normal day on Oahu, knowing that it's such a different scenario on Maui. I literally was walking in here today thinking, like, God, everything looks so freaking normal over here.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, yeah.
Just knowing the scene over there and talking to my friends and family over there, it's just like crazy to me. And I just keep like, oh, I wanna go home to Maui and I wanna sign up for something and I wanna shuttle people on a fucking boat or something and I wanna like do something, and
yeah,
in lieu of that, I'm like here, and like the more people that
everything seems trivial, right?
yeah, but and it's like I really just is like I don't want to be on YouTube. I don't want to like sit with a microphone in front of my face. I don't want to like do that, but this is like what I can do from here for right now. I will be continuing to do things when the time is right and when it's okay. Like I will also want to go back and like stand shoulder to shoulder with like my loved ones and help and, you know, put my hands to good use there if I can. But right here, right now, that we are not helpless in the situation. We can do something, you know, and if you feel called to, then you can. If you feel called to and you're able to, then great. If not, your thoughts, your prayers, your positivity, keeping lifting people up in prayer and in your thoughts, that helps too. Every little bit, you know, don't want to sound all like woo woo whatever, but like the energy will help as well. Like whatever positivity you can put into it, like they're accepting all of it. You know, they need it, and it's not for nothing. So, but yeah, it is crazy how slow.
Yeah. Um, we I'm gonna go into my messages and and I'm gonna look for what my lender. So ask our lender for people who have homes on Maui, or someone who has a home on Maui or whatever. I was asking, being that we do real estate, uh, do they get to defer their payments? Like how does that work? At what point does the mortgage company not hold it against them? Because they better not freaking report it on their credit. Like I had all those thoughts, and I got some messages here. Um, assistance can include, please, for Maui. Assistance can include grants for temporary housing and home repairs, low cost loans to cover uninsured property losses, and other programs to help individuals and business owners recover from the effects of disaster. And stay tuned, like hold your attention with me, because wherever you live, these mortgage things and these insurance things are something you need to be cognizant of. Because I have some insurance nuggets to pass on as well. So residents and business owners who sustained losses in the designated areas can begin applying for assistance at www.disasterassistance.gov. Or you can call 1-800-621-FEMA. That's 1-800-621-3362, or use the FEMA app. So I guess there are resources for low cost loans and financing through those resources. Southwest Airlines sending flights and for donation of goods to Maui. That's really awesome, right? Because the flights coming out of Maui should really have humans, and then the flights going to should have very little humans. And so we should just stack it with supplies. I don't know about the safety and stuff, but I wonder how that works. Um,
And I think our yesterday, I didn't check it this morning, but do you guys know if the convention center here on Oahu is still housing displaced? Stuff like this. Something like have connection over here, like or even if you're like a displaced tourist. I know something like 2,000 people were sleeping at the airport at one point.
well, yeah.
So $19 flights out. There's convention center housing people here. I don't know what their capacity level is at right now. But
All right, check this out. My buddy, brother-in-law, actually, Nick Mita. He's an insurance agent, primarily focused on bigger business insurance and stuff, but their company does home policies. One of the things Nick, sorry if you see this, I'm probably gonna mess it up. I'm not an insurance agent, FYI, in any of this stuff. If it's not, it's not official advice, but um, there's there are parts of your insurance policy that I'm gonna screw it up. It's like uninsured loss. Here, it's on my Instagram. I know. Let me go to my Instagram and find it because I reshared. So he said, quick tip: call your insurance agent. Ask about loss of use. Oh yeah, that's the one. Loss of use coverage. My friend Nick, my brother-in-law Nick, was saying that most policies should have a loss of use coverage on your homeowners or business property policy to keep you afloat. So it's like bridge funds. So when you call your insurance agent, say, do I have loss of use coverage? And if you're not in this, you're just watching, but you're not experiencing this tragedy, then maybe it's time to see if you have loss of use. That'll help you uh, make your mortgage payments, pay for your hotel, like these sorts of things. So thanks Nick for that. And then he sent me a voice message. Let's see.
Standpoint on the Maui thing. First of all, oh man, my heart breaks for everybody over in Maui, and my thoughts and prayers every day for you guys. My family's praying for you guys. of the questions that people have are how much am I going to get paid? How much is that? So let's go over, like, let's say you have a home that you own. You have a home that you own. So it's going to come out of your coverage A. That's your dwelling value. That's going to be the cost that comes out to replace your home. Right now, of course, it's chaotic. You're worried about what's gonna happen. I don't have any money in my pocket right now. So I talked with a first insurance guy, as you mentioned. As long as their limits are within this amount, right now they've been giving out at least $10,000 of personal property coverage and $20,000 of loss of use. Loss of use would be the amount of time where you have to go and live somewhere else while your home is being rebuilt, which can come to a lot. So this is for homeowners coverage. With first insurance, that's what they're doing, just to get you started. Eventually, you're going to have to. It's going to be heartbreaking, and it's not going to be easy. But you're going to have to go ahead and write a spreadsheet down of all the things that you lost, all the property that you lost. That's going to be under your personal property coverage. That's coverage. The coverage pay, the insurance carrier is probably going to determine what kind of home you had, and how it was built, the construction, the year it was built, all of those things, and the replacement cost, and see what your policy allows, and go off of that and see what the loss is. They'll probably pay you that amount eventually. Now, it's going to be a long process, and it's not going to be easy. So that's why you just keep in contact with your agent. Going back to getting, if you do have your policies with First Insurance, and I'm not just selling First Insurance, a lot of other carriers might be doing this, just talk to your adjuster, but you guys don't have mailboxes. Everything is gone. So ask to have your agent say, hey, look, can I just get an amount to get myself started that's within the limits of my policy? And go ahead from there to be able to get that check sent over to the agent's office so he can drop it off direct. I think that's it. My thoughts and prayers. If for anything, if you have any questions, reach out to your agent, call them up. That's why they're there, to try to help you out through this process. God bless you all.
So that's Nick Mita, my brother-in-law. One of the things I asked him, I was like, is fire covered? Is fire for sure on someone's insurance plan? And he was like, he let me know that, like, yes, typically, almost always it is. He's never really heard of it not being covered. So if someone, had questions about whether their home would be covered, it should be covered. Deductible amounts will vary. If people are hurting for the deductible, then hopefully these funds will help. Reach out to us. Let us know how we can help raise funds for that deductible if they cannot. What else about insurance? The total cost to rebuild the home, and this is just good real estate stuff for this real estate channel. It'll depend. People have to call their insurance agent and say, hey, what was the total loss amount and how did you come up with that? So people are going to have to cross-reference, right? They had 1,000 square foot home, and at what were the finishes, what was the quality of the home, it cost $400 per square foot to rebuild that home, then that's $400,000. Hopefully the total loss, their insurance plan covers at least that. So you know what, too? Let me shift gears a little bit. If people from Maui end up having problems with their insurance, let us know later on. Like, I wanna slam them. I want to destroy them if they're not gonna help people. I think for the most part, they will. I think it's irrefutable and it's bad business not to, and they must. But if that were to happen, let us know. And then it's not the time for pointing fingers and whatnot, but I'll be curious to know, did they consider shutting off the power? Did this have to happen? In California, there's a lot of wildfires and a Coast Guard. When I was in the Coast Guard, a a Coast Guard reservist guy. He is a firefighter, and we have this story of him saving his family from a fire just like this, like a crazy fire, crazy heroic story. And he said, I PG&E should have shut off the power, but they're too greedy because they're gonna lose. They're not gonna be able to charge for power for all that time, but they should have shut off the power. And I was like, why? What does that have to do with anything? So well, what happens is the power lines get blown down, the transformers will get blown down, and then when it sparks, it starts to fire, and then it just runs wild because the area is so dry. And so this guy, and I'm sure the reason why I tell this story is one, it's entertaining, and I want to entertain you and hold your attention and have you go to the links in our descriptions and donate. So
not in the chat, please.
huh?
More people are-
Don't donate in the chat, guys. Thank you.
Don't,
we appreciate
don't
it,
donate
but
in the chat. The link in our description. Yeah, the link. Go to our screen again. It's the Council for Native Hawaiian Affairs, Kākoʻo Maui Fund, and the Maui Strong Fund are the two that we've chosen to promote.
Can you refresh that page? Because it's been going up.
Yeah, it's been
during
going up.
Yeah.
And I'm, if we were even the other one, if we were even some small part of that impact, then that's amazing. So $10,000 since the last time I refreshed it, which is amazing. I'm going to tell you this story. It's an entertaining story because I want to entertain you and get you to consider donating. And just imagine these stories are recent and visceral and just happened on Maui. But my Coast Guard chief friend in California, they just got done eating lunch. They were going to go do some boat inspections, and he was on his motorcycle, and the other guys were in the government van. They go the GV, and normal day, normal ops, finish eating lunch, and then the GV was in the front, the motorcycle was in the back. The guy flipped a U-turn and just took off like crazy, like 100 miles per hour. And they were like, what the heck? And they tried to call him, like, what up? He wasn't answering. He had like Bluetooth or whatever he had, like AirPod. I don't even think there were AirPods then, but he had he had Bluetooth in his helmet. And his wife called and said, everything's on fire. We're stuck. We don't know how to get out. We're surrounded by fire. He was to give you an idea, and I'm going to go to a map. I just want to explain the gravity of this because this kind of stuff just happened in Maui. And this guy's story could be a movie. Okay, these fires were in Paradise, California. So drop a comment if you've heard of the Paradise, California fires. It's around Chico. So they were in like the Point Reyes area. Where's Point Reyes? Over here. They were like in this Bodega Bay, Point Reyes area here. And California, remember, is huge. It's not like it's not like a small area. So this is Paradise. This is where he was. So he had to take like these interstates and go up here. That's like a 4-hour drive or something. He said he got there in 90 minutes, going 180, zipping in and out of people. Luckily, he's a good motorcycle rider, I guess. She called and was like, we're surrounded. We're going to die. And he took off, 180, 200 miles per hour on a motorcycle, risking his life all the while, keeping her on the phone, coached her, get in the truck, find an asphalt area, get in the truck. And if you can't find an exit, find an area of asphalt. So she finds a parking lot. And it's like the truck's getting hot. It's getting hot. And the gas has been on E since he was like 30 minutes out. Like the gas lights on. He shows up and the officials are waving him off. Like, remember, 4-hour drive or so, 3-hour drive in 90 minutes, crazy. The officials are like, no. Stop. He just goes right past them, like F you. And then he finds like he had to go through fire, but he finds like where there's the least amount of fire. The firewall is the thinnest, I guess. Goes through on his motorcycle, finds her at the store in the town that they were, and the wife and the kid and the kid's in the car too. They're like hugging each other, sweating in the heat. The fire about to overtake everything around him. He jumps in the car, puts it in drive, breaks through the fire in the truck, and gets them out. And he's a firefighter, right? He says, he's like, guys, 30 seconds more, a minute more, my family's dead. After traveling across the state of California, halfway across the state, this way. So those kind of, like, if that story sounds crazy, there's probably 100 of those, 500 of those, 1,000 of those from yesterday. Or maybe it wasn't so fortunate, right? Maybe they were on the phone, or they were engulfed and then didn't make it. And those families are dealing with that. So we figured, we were texting, what can we do? How can we help? Mahi doesn't even want to be here and talk about this. I was like, let's fly in, because we fly in and we tell the story, we'll get thousands and thousands of people to donate. We respectfully chose not to, because again, don't come to Maui unless it makes sense, unless the officials have invited you to work, and that's it. And so we definitely chose not to go. And here we are. We figured this is the muscle we can flex. This is the lever we can pull to help immediately. And then we'll also personally help. We'll also, we're going to Costco after this, and we'll help a few specific families as well, or we'll see how that goes, and who needs the most help. Do we have more comments?
Artistic Angel Lucas.
Artistic Angel Lucas. Okay, sorry, I'm turning my phone back up.
Says the death count has been updated.
And I'm sure it's going to go up. The death count. Oh, I see you guys sending money. There's someone else sent money here. So thank you. Apolitical. I like your name, Apolitical. Hookie gets a good stuff at Costco for the Maui people. Love from Sacramento. Apolitical. You know what? That's beautiful. One of our guys, Kenny, our newer member to our team. We love him. He's amazing. He's from SAC, and he's always talking about SAC. I lived in the Bay for a long time, so I don't know SAC super well. I know like the train museum and things like that, but he knows SAC like the back of his hand. So anyways, thank you. We will redirect those funds to Costco. And what? Diapers. I worked in pediatric healthcare, so everything can help, right? A blanket for an old person, a water for a 30-year-old, but like something about diapers and wipes just makes me feel good. So if I get the satisfaction and the gratitude and the aloha and the joy of helping, I'll probably put that money towards some baby stuff or some kids' clothes. So that's cool. This is very sad. I feel bad for Maui, but we must rebuild immediately. We must rebuild. Yes. Don't the government help? Like when the government claims state of emergency, just wondering. I know once with a flood that our area could help do that. Yeah. I mean, good question, right? It's like you have these people on here asking for money, not us. We prefer you don't donate through us. We prefer you donate to these funds that we put up in our description. The Kākoʻo Maui Fund, the Maui Strong Fund. But it's like, I just told Maui. It's not Maui. I just told Mahi before this. I was like, hey, how much are you planning to donate? What are you thinking? And I know Mahi is a compassionate and empathic person. So I invited her to as team leader and business mentor. I invite her, it's okay to be measured and to basically not sabotage yourself and your own family's well-being. And the only reason I feel this, I have the space and the able to say that with Mahi is because we all know, I know the other side is so much bigger than my voice of saying you don't have to donate everything. And same for you guys, right? I get it. The government should be helping, and they will help. And FEMA, although FEMA's broke, so there will be funds that come from the government, but there's just things that there's beyond that. I was in the Coast Guard, and I know how government funds flow, right? And it's not, you would think, oh, government, they print money, they gave 30 million to Ukraine, and damn it, I agree. Like, you can send 30 million over there, or what, 30 billion, or what they do, whatever they did there. Like, yeah, let's show up for Maui, United States government, because hey, we there's a certain history between Hawaii and the United States government anyway. So here's your opportunity, or here's an opportunity. Like, show up for the people of Hawaii. And so I'm for that 100%. But also, there are other things like, hopefully, Kākoʻo Maui and the Maui Strong Fund, just can allocate money more swift, and to things that, like, the government may not be designed to impact, like a specific family and their baby who was burned and now needs something, a wheelchair, or I don't know. I just know that more is better, and we're not there's no there can't be too much in this situation. But fair point. My point is asking about the government, like, fair point. I hope the government shows up the way they did, for other countries, right? Maybe Ukraine can donate money to Lahaina. Yeah, right. I doubt it, but I'm with you. Hey guys, keeping my family and friends in Maui in my thoughts. Use the link to donate, and we'll copy for others. Omar, thank you. So tell me if I say your name right. How are you gonna say that name? Devereaux. Yeah, me too. That's what I was gonna say.
I think it's probably wrong.
Yeah. Kenj, you did a lot of weddings and stuff on Maui, yeah? What's your favorite Maui memory?
I went like 8 times in the last 2 years, 6 times in 2021, and mostly up country.
Yeah.
One time, Kapalua, by the Ritz, or whatever, up there, and it's very like event based on just going to venues, right?
Well, how about
And,
that, right? How about those, like, what Maui means to those people, right? Married on
Well,
Maui.
I think
Maui.
just
Maui.
one of
That
them
is how they call
was
you,
like
Maui.
from
Just
Maui.
Maui.
Just Maui.
Just Maui.
Yeah.
I see it though. I see the appeal, especially Kapalua. Like, sunsets over there are amazing.
Yeah.
But like, admittedly, most of those couples weren't from Maui.
Yeah.
There was just one that was, and that was in South Kihei, like Wailea thing.
Was that the one we saw at the airport?
No, that was
Oh.
up country.
Oh, okay.
That
okay.
one was, yeah. That one was neat. That
That was a local ranger.
my bad. So there's 2. There's
Yeah.
but you definitely feel the difference between the islands, of Oahu and Maui. I think, like, first of all, you don't get that view on Oahu, like that ocean view, but you're so elevated up
Rare.
Kaleakala.
Yeah. Oh, never.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Never on
And
Oahu.
then
Yeah.
you're looking at other islands that are close. And so there's just like an awe that even somebody from Hawaii has when they go there. And then, so the natural beauty, but then the people, the vibe of Kula,
Yeah.
is that's a vibe. I think people associate with, like, on Oahu, maybe Kahuku Strong. We talked about that.
Yeah. Maui has a pride, right?
Yeah.
Maui no Ko'oi. The audacity of you guys. Maui no Ko'oi. Like, Maui no Ko'oi means Maui is number one. Maui is the best. And it's like a literal brand, And hopefully Maui no Ko'oi is doing something charitable. But that's like the saying, like, Maui's the best. Maui no Ko'oi. And when I flew into Maui, I was like, oh, I see why they say that. Like,
Nice.
all of Hawaii's islands are majestic, right? But Maui is powerful. Like, there's sometimes local people can get bitter when there's a place where a lot of like people from the mainland live and occupy, and understandably so, right? But then like stop and think and try to think why, right? Like Kailua on Oahu, why so many people drawn there? Like because the so many things. The geography is like it's a little bit more rainy, but not too rainy. It's flat, but then there's mountains. It's the beach is the whitest, sandiest, calmest beach on the island, maybe in all the islands in a certain way. And then Maui is like that too. Like that's kind of an indicator. If all the billionaires go there and want to live there, why? Because they have their choice. It's because Maui has this power to it, and this, you know, this, I don't know. It's just this allure. I mean, there's brands. There's not a clothing brand that was famous in the 90s called Oahu or Hawaii. So like there's a brand called Maui. Like
Yeah.
what is that? That's what, like how strong Maui is, and why, why the allure and why the pool,
P in the comments, you can exit. You don't need to be here. This is not, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but with the negativity you're bringing, we don't need it. They don't know, we don't need it. We don't want it. This is just some BS. I mean, like, we're here to bring as much positivity to this devastation. I don't know what kind of rough times or bad things have happened in your life, and I'm sorry that that's happened to you, but we don't need this, and you really don't need to be here. So you could kindly leave. Thank you very much.
I mean, yeah.
You want to talk about karma? That's got to be some bad karma coming your way for even saying.
Where are you
that,
from,
like,
P? Right. First, like leave, but can tell you're not from here, and can tell your life sucks. Much aloha to you guys. I always love your videos, and this really speaks to who you are. You're my ohana, and we've never met. Scott Kaimi. Oh wait, Kaimi. Oh, Kaimi. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, we just didn't know what to do, right? Like, what the most leverage, the most exposure, the strongest exposure we have is our YouTube channel, and this is just the first thing. This is just the first thing we thought to do because we didn't know what to do. And so we had other content planned for today. We're gonna do other things today. We had, congratulations to Brett and Chelsea. Congratulations to Victor and Jillian who closed today. We had 2 closings today. Yay! And which is awesome. No, we're super happy for those families. But we're supposed to give keys and go do all this like ceremonious stuff today. But we just figured this is the muscle we can flex for now, even if for a little bit, for a small gain, and then we'll continue to do other things. And the beautiful part about YouTube and about content and about media leverage and marketing is this will be evergreen. And so hopefully for some time to come, this will even have a small effect on Maui. Let's check on our telethon, our fundraising telethon.
And obviously these are not all coming from people who are watching this YouTube, but
I think they are. I think this is all us. I think this was all us, all 450.
But that's awesome. Like, this is when they first started this one, when this first popped up, it was $100,000 match donation fund, and then it was 250, and now it's up to $1 million. And so that's incredible, guys. So donate there because they're going to match your dollar for dollar up to $1 million, and they're not halfway there yet. So just keep pouring in if you can, because that's incredible.
In the comment section, make sure to leave us questions, comments, if you want us to voice your opinion on Maui, a positive one, not this loser here in the comments. But
it's just not the day. Don't come for me today, okay? I'm like, I have zero disrespectfully. Please leave.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, we're so negative, we're so horrible, we're so appalling. You're a fan. What an asshole, right? I am. Um, this is how we are, by the way, in our office. Um, you know, we're always throwing shade at each other, joking around, and it's fun, and it makes our team different. Auntie Fran.
Auntie Franny.
Auntie Fran is good.
Auntie Fran is good. Anybody on Maui in the paddling community knows my Auntie Franny. My daughter's been terribly worried about her. She's in Kihei. There was a minute where like North Kihei was evacuating. Lindsay, you guys went to Rachel's house. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like that's okay now, but my daughter has been like so worried about grandma. Like, where's grandma? I'm like, she's in Kihei.
Oh, she calls her grandma.
Yeah, she's like, where's grandma? I was like, she's in Kihei. She's like, tell her to leave. Like,
We're not
tell
going to say her nickname.
Tell her get out. No, we're
I
not.
can't
She,
joke.
she don't watch YouTube anyway. But I know that she and like a lot of people from the paddling community, there were obviously we know a lot of like boat captains and stuff because we do like escort boats for like voyages, stuff like that. So I know some boat captains were going from like Ma'alaya Harbor to Lahaina, like shuttling people, getting people out of Lahaina that were trying to get out. And I know she was saying there are some people who like got to, Ma'alaya via a boat, via the harbor, via 3 different vehicles at the 3 different locations just to try and, get out. So the community is banding together. I know a lot of people who I like, 1 degree of separation, 2 degrees of separations, 3, 4, 5, friends of friends, direct friends, paddlers I know, people who work with me, people who work resort. A lot of people are like opening their homes to, people they know, people they don't know. People, small businesses are like, somebody who bakes bread on every loaf I sell is going directly to this, so everybody's doing what they can. But that's just that just speaks to that kind of like small town, big heart community. They're all working hard where they can to help in the ways that they can. So I know Maui Powerhouse Gym, shout out to them. I think they're doing donations, drop-offs there. I think Anytime Fitness Pukalani upcountry, Maui as well. They're doing what I think it rained last night, which was like a big thing everybody was really happy about. So
yeah,
that's great.
This can you go to my screen? This is the video. I don't think we can show the we can't play the audio, and they chose to edit it and not show the body on the ground. But this is the video. Earlier in the live stream, I was telling people,
just look at that, like the embers flying at the car like that. I can't even believe people had the audacity to tell them that they needed to get out of their car.
And yeah, so people were like, in this video, the guy's saying, "Oh," he's like, "Oh my god, oh my god," and then he's like, they're like, "Oh, it's getting hot. Oh, it's hot in here," and then they go on to there's a body on the right side, like on the right side of the road, and it's classic, like like movie NCIS thing, like the person's kind of like this and sprawled out, and you hear the adult son who's like I guess it's probably like the dad's 50 and the son's 30 or something, I don't know, but you hear the adult son, he's like, "Nah, dad, you cannot do nothing for her. Keep going. You cannot do nothing for her. Keep going." And then after that, they're coming to like a stop, and they're cussing like, "Just go, honk it, just go." And I mean, look how they're in a pizza oven.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know, you look into a pizza oven and how even just standing outside of a pizza oven, how hot it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're inside of one
Mm-hmm.
in their cars. There was one. I heard of a story where they're like the guy's tires melted, so then he had to jump out and run towards the harbor and jump in the harbor,
And
jump in
that's,
the
I
water.
mean, you can see like pictures and videos of people posting right by, you know, Front Street there, where all of these cars are just completely destroyed, and like there's a long line, and you know that was a long line of people trying to get out,
Right.
and all of these people had to,
Oh, so there's a line of like charred
there's like
cars.
cars just like charred everywhere. These are people who had to run for their lives, you know, and like
Wow.
just this short clip of, you know, this 10 seconds of this hell that they're living through. Like just, it's an impossible situation. Like you, of course, everybody wants to say that I would get out and help every person, dog, cat that I could. But when this is like a traumatic experience. These people are fighting for their lives, and this is what was happening. This is what these people were experiencing, of like driving with flames completely around them. This is the snapshot of one family in one car. There's a line of cars in front and in back of them. This is everybody trying to get in and out. And even in the best of days, when it's just traffic getting out of work, you know, it's a small town. There's not a ton of alternate routes and roads to go on. These roads were backed up with people now running for their lives, running from their homes. It's like you don't even have time to grab your stuff from your homes. You have time to get your family and leave.
That, yeah. Again, my intention is to do this so that I hold your attention and you go to the links, not us. Don't donate to us, preferably donate to the links. And that's why we're doing this. To give you an idea of like, it kind of sucks because there's like, on just a normal, like no fires, just the Maui traffic situation. Like we did a debate video. I had Maui, and you were like, yeah, Maui, one road in, one road out. It sucks. Like, because you had to be negative in the debate. It was like a fun thing. And that's the situation. Like, you might live in a suburb where you're like, oh, I would jump in my truck and go this way or go that way. Like, that's not an option. The way Maui is like mountain, ocean, one road, or the way this part of Maui anyway. And that, like, all of those heroic, I do this, I do that, wasn't an option for these people. They were in a bottleneck. And, you know, imagine having to decide, do I go on foot right now and run, or do I not? I have my auntie with me. She cannot make it because she's 80 years old. I could run and I could survive. If we stay, we're going to die. Like, these are the kind of decisions people are making, right? I have my children with me. What's the better chance of surviving with my children? Running or not running? You know, like, freaking heavy, you know, so heavy. Question. All right, let me go on to the question. Oh, and here's someone in the comments said, in my experience in natural disaster, don't count too much on FEMA. And so that's the thing, is like, yeah, I appreciate the question earlier, which is like, oh, well, won't the government help? And certainly they must, and they better. And regarding the insurance companies, we will. Someone else put a comment like, please do a follow-up and let us know which insurance companies helped and which didn't, and I will. We will. Yeah, you can't count on FEMA too much, and there are just other things and other ways to help family that this money will go to. So please go donate in the links, not to us, but to the links. The Banyan will survive. Yes. Were you prompting?
Yes.
NJPS, can you give us your thoughts on people asking whether they should still come to Maui for now or plan vacations? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I'll go and then you can comment, but basically, no, like, absolutely not. Do not go to Maui. I think you can still go Oahu for your vacation, but because some people are like, don't come to Hawaii at all. I think you can divert your vacation to Oahu or something. But no, don't go to Maui. They need space. So the analogy I gave earlier in the live stream was like when someone falls on a sports field, the protocol is get away. Give them the time and the space they need. What the important people who know what they're doing and are trained for that, go help, and then everyone else get away. And that's the same approach, but at a larger scale. You gotta figure. Ken, can you go to my maps, my screen? So Oahu has like a 1.1 million people or 1.3, I forget. That's grown. Maui, I think we looked, what was it, 200,000 or I forget, but it's small. But like Molokai here, where Mahia's family and goes, if a bunch of people with like, there's only so many bottles of water on this little island. There's only so many rolls of toilet paper. Like they literally like they'll tell Mahi like, hey, can you go and put, you know, like this marinade or like these resources on the plane or on the barge for me so we can have it. That's Molokai. Maui is like an in between of that in terms of logistics and supplies. Like Maui's big and they got stores and a Costco, but it's not Oahu, and Oahu is not California. Like the resources are super limited, and even though this island looks big, this is all uninhabitable. This is all uninhabitable. There's only very little bit people, but then they're for the most part, they're in this valley and along this coast for the most part. By going to Maui, you're taking up resources that other people need. That's first responders, that's FEMA rescuers, that's like the National Guard that they're flying in, like the bottles of water, the toilet paper, the rooms. That's the thing. There's so many people displaced right now. They need to put those people in other hotel rooms across the island so they have a place to stay for the time being. So our answer is no, do not come to Maui right now when they say that it's okay and start inviting you back. Please come. Like come, spend your money, tip your waitress, rent a canoe, have a young mahi out there paddling you and tip her and do all those things. But that's frankly, unapologetically, that's the stance, is like, don't come to Maui right now. Don't. But when you can, when they invite everyone back, and that's even for people on Oahu. Like we were gonna go there to film, but we decided like, no, that's rude. Like we're gonna go to raise awareness, not to make money for us, like to do this thing. But like, no, that's rude. So even for local Hawaii people, we're not going to Maui unless we're working. When can, please come and elevate that economy, because the economic effects will be felt for a long time. Anything else to say about that?
That pretty much sums it up.
That's it. Huh?
Yeah.
What else we got here? Love from Canada. Agreed, man. Arohana comes first. Just donated to both links. Mahalo. Thank you. They're sending people from Maui to Oahu, so hotel's probably not available to visit. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I don't know. I would just say follow the government officials on that. If in doubt, and if you have the resources and the time and the scheduling, probably don't, or delay. I imagine there's too many thousands of people that are planning a trip in this next week or so on our channel, but probably a couple. Did the Lahaina Cannery Mall get burnt up?
I actually am not sure. I know that the outlet malls, which is more towards that end too, at the end of kind of towards the end of Front Street, is like where, if you guys are familiar, like Bubba Gums and all that stuff was over there. That whole outlet mall I know was on fire, but I actually am not really sure about Cannery Mall. I know Cannery Mall is kind of like directly across the street from where like the Foodland is, and then up that road where you drive up past Foodland, like I know Island Grocery was on fire as well. So if anybody has updates on what Lahaina Cannery Mall looks like, let us know. But I'm not really sure. I know that the outlet malls, which are very nearby there, were burned down though. So, um, yeah.
Jeff Bezos, Oprah, Larry Ellison, etc. We're looking at you. Yeah, I mean, Oprah is like the figurehead of Maui wealth in that sense, right? Like she owns the huge ranch area and has an exclusive road that no one else accesses and whatever. So, I bet you there's something on Oprah stepping up to help Maui. I would
I hope
imagine.
so.
I guarantee there must be. Um, Someone talked about deforestation causing this, etc. And yeah, when we went to Maui, I asked you, right? I was like, "Well, it's bowler head," which bowler head in Hawaii is like they have no hair, and on that side of the island, like there's no trees. It's just grassland, like dry grassland. And I was like, "How come even like in Waianae, it's not necessarily like that, like dry but with trees?" And yeah. Um, you know, I wonder if the power should have been turned off. When we were here on Oahu on that day, and
Oh,
The-
our power kept going
our
out
power
there.
kept going on and off. And I had Facebook friends on Oahu like, "Oh, our power's been off for hours." And I wonder if the power should have been turned off. And I'm not pointing fingers because I don't know what those meetings were like. I don't know if mistakes were made or if it just happened. But I wonder about that. We have 121 people. We've held well over 100 up to 200 people throughout this live stream, and I don't know what else to say except for we wanted to come on here and watch and encourage you guys to support and leverage our channel to get support. If you guys have questions, let us know. I think we're starting to wind down here. Power should have been turned off. Yeah, that's my concern as well. We're starting to wind down, but the whole purpose of this is to go to the links in our description. Preferably, first and foremost, the Kākoʻo Maui Fund, because they're matching. Refresh it.
Kākoʻo Maui, guys.
What does Kākoʻo mean?
Like, help come together, like
Yeah,
something like that.
that's kokua, but
Oh yeah. Kākoʻo. Maybe they spelled kokua wrong.
no, they never. You don't know what you're talking. Kākoʻo meaning to uphold, support, favor, assist, prop up, bind, support. That's beautiful.
Kākoʻo.
Look at some of these scenes. I'm gonna go back to the scenes because again, we do a great job on this channel of showing value and teaching you about Hawaii, or for our local aunties and uncles who are on the mainland forever, like my dad, keeping Hawaii in their heart, or our local people on Oahu and Maui and throughout this state. Like they reach out and go, "Man, I love your guys' channel. It's so entertaining and educational, and all of those things." That's awesome. And this was the muscle we knew how to flex immediately, other than going to Costco, which we're going to be doing, and sharing social media posts and stuff. We were like, "Hey, we have this muscle. Let's at least flex it and raise money for these families." So the links for support are in the description. This is the Hawaii news now. So if you want to see the devastation, I know some of the people watching are like, "Oh, I had no idea it was so bad," and I get that. Anecdotally, when 9/11 happened, I was a senior. So you were what, like a freshman, sophomore? No, act. You always want to act young. You act like you brand new. We're all in high school or so when 9/11 happened, and it was heavy here. It was like my parents asked me, "Do you want to go to school today?" And I was like, "Yeah. I don't think they're gonna bomb Hawaii." And but when I went to boot camp, so I was what, 17. When I was 21, I went to boot camp, and it was only a few years later, right? You still felt it. Like you're gonna feel this in years from now. You still felt like the weight of this 9/11 thing, because boot camp was in New Jersey. It was right there, you know. And New Yorkers probably to this day, you go around and you can it's it's still stuck to the culture and to the people. Um, but it wasn't as strong for us, even though we felt it. We definitely felt it. No disrespect, wasn't as strong. This, you know, this is home. And so the point I was making is, I understand some of you people are probably like, oh, I heard something about that. I wasn't even sure. You know, our website provider, Norman, he hit me up. He's like, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Let me actually check the news. And I like that. You know, you don't spend time in the negative news. Like, great. But now that we're letting you know, this is like apocalyptic. We said earlier, um, anonymously, we've gotten third-hand reports of like people getting off their shift on Maui and saying the body count has to be in the hundreds. We saw kids, older people, bodies, people not able to escape their homes, etc. And so at that time, they were saying 6, and they said 30 something, and now they're 50 something. And these people are saying in the hundreds. The concern is that it is going to go that high. It's going to be confirmed that it's at that high. Hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully it was exaggerated, but it's already growing by the minute, and they've barely started the cleanup efforts and response efforts. So yeah, if we can be here to slap you in the face, and you know, the same way I needed someone to really explain to me the weight of 9/11 because I wasn't from that region. If we can do that and add help to Hawaii, help to Maui, then mission accomplished.
Again, guys, in the description box is where you can find the links to donate. Kākoʻo Maui is matching up to $1 million, so dollar for dollar there. Double your dollar and donate there if you can. Drop-off locations are on Oahu and on Maui. If you're on Maui, go drive your stuff to War Memorial. I know they're making kits for people, survivors, to go and just grab what they need. Oahu, stevedores, mahalo to them for putting together donation. I know a lot of small businesses now. Go on Instagram, go on Facebook. You can find, there are so many, like, I'm sure just in the time that we've been doing this, like more and more businesses are coming up to say, hey, all of our proceeds are going to X. So we're making t-shirts. All of 100% of those proceeds are going to this donation.
Also be
this.
careful though.
But also please vet,
also be careful.
Research. But if it's a trusted business that you patron anyway, and you'd be there anyway, like why not? Go ahead and look into those. Help where you can, donate where you can. Keep thinking about these people. Keep it top of mind. Keep sharing. Don't let the the novelty of the top headline wear off. This is going to be a long time that these people in this community is going to need the support. So keep it top of mind. Tell people, spread the word. Share this link with everybody. Anybody has ever talked to you went on a vacation to Hawaii with so and so, you got married in Hawaii, any of that stuff, send it to your bridal party, send it to everybody, like whoever that loves Hawaii, cares about Hawaii, send that link over.
I'm just showing you guys more to pull on your heart to
find
help.
That photo on Front Street with all the cars.
The burnt, charred cars. I'm sure it's here. You find that, and I will respond to. I'll talk over. Thomas, born and raised in New Jersey, and what you're saying about 9/11 is true. The trauma lasts. Understand that people in Maui will be traumatized for a long time. Yep. Keep asking the viewers to donate. That's right. Not to us. Again, we want to receive no money. A couple people accidentally or intentionally did that, and we'll go to Costco and buy diapers and buy formula and whatever they tell us. But we have these funds. Double your dollar and go to the Kākoʻo Maui Council for Native Hawaiian Affairs. Is matching up to $1 million.
I just read that Hawaii Community Foundation. So the Maui Strong Fund They're
Mhm.
up to $3 million.
That's beautiful.
That's amazing, guys. In 24 hours.
That's beautiful.
Keep it
But
coming.
here's the other thing, guys. They're up to $3 million. Just I know to all of, like, most of us aren't rich and we don't come from, tons of money. We have one client reached out to us who I know is worth tens of millions of dollars, but for the most part, you know, we're a bunch of middle class plus or minus a bit, people, and the 3 million raised. Oh, awesome. Uh, Imagine now. I know that insurance should be helping to build houses or something, right? But how many houses is 3 million going to build? Uh, Depending on the design, a few, a handful, 10, 15, like hundreds and hundreds lost, souls lost, lives lost, funerals need to be paid for, services, counseling, mental health, like PTSD therapy, food for first responder. Like, I know that three million's a lot and it's beautiful, but we're talking apocalyptic type event, and 3 million, let's keep it going. That's my point. Let's keep it going. On my Instagram, I shared that car one. Yeah. Um, no, that's to highlight you. Let me help Mahe like I always gotta do. Just kidding. Kind of. All right.
Okay, noted.
Do not travel to Maui. Yeah, it's so like
Blaring.
yeah.
Pinned post number 1.
Yeah. Do not come to Maui. I get it. All right, so I'll go to my stories. This story is no longer available. Right here.
You go to open the comment line page.
County of Maui page. I was checking out this page too because I know it's so like objective. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's just factual,
Yeah.
Where's the rest of it? More posts from County of Maui. Oh, there.
That's all.
I think was this one must have been. Oh wow. No, it's from it's a little bit older. This was cars trying to get out
What else are you doing? You're off.
in a line.
Of the road now.
Yeah, these people probably jumped in the water.
Or ran by foot up away. Water.
Well, this is going like Napili way, right?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Raoniopoko side.
But the fire was like that way or this way, going that way.
Yeah, that's heavy. When you put it in the context Mahi's putting it in, like, what else were these cars doing? They were trying to get out. I mean, look, this is a van. What do vans carry? Families. The before and afters, like, this was a vibrant town 48 hours ago. Less. All right. Comments. If someone comments they donated, we're staying for a few more minutes. If not, we gotta keep it moving and go to Costco. I donated. Mimi, thank you so much via the Maui Strong Fund. Positive vibration to you all in the Hawaiian Islands. Taj. Respectfully, people have not received the magnitude of this disaster. as a larger society, we are desensitized in general. Right now is a time for love and understanding for a spiritual land, for our spiritual land. Well said. Thank you. And that's like the story we told earlier. If you're new to this or you're watching this in retrospect or um, whatever, it's, we in Hawaii knew about 9/11. It was heavy. It was like, wow, but not the American flag waving like there was in, the Northeast. Then I went to boot camp a few years later and it was still there. Like that 9/11 vibe was still there years later, months and months and months later, right? There was the proximity and the distance. And back then, the world wasn't as fast and attention spans weren't as short as they are now because of social media. Now attention spans are shorter. Like these disasters are even more fleeting in people's mind and in their psyche. So this is just to elevate that, to really show you what, like, the mourning and the grieving in Hawaii and how bad this really was. I mean, look at this. And also, to get you to donate. People were saying War of the Worlds. Have you watched that?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but people who are there are saying it's like War of the Worlds. It's not real.
It's just one of those things that when you hear in Hawaii and we think we're so like far removed from like bad things happening, we really do kind of have that like that underlying thought of like everything is sunny, everything is happy here, and it's just like something that you never imagine seeing of this magnitude here, happening here. And it's just unreal. It looks like a movie set. It doesn't even look real.
And so many people are on the edge economically here. And I know we all, like, we're still, hundreds of people watching. Tiffany donated this morning. Thank you so much. People struggle and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In Hawaii, especially the local people in Maui, not just the tourists or the people who are there for 6 months, in a year, and love to all and aloha to all those people as well. But, like the people you're referencing, your friends, family, they're my cousin who's, local and very much not wealthy. She's like, every paycheck, we're squeezing our buttholes to get by or something. She told me. Local people are trying to Maui. We stated it earlier in this live show. Like, Maui is the land of the billionaires. When you fly into Maui, OGG, Kahului Airport, you see the private jets just lined up. Private jet. It's like, oh, I wonder whose private jet that is. I wonder what they own. I wonder what trademark they have or what patent they have. And people think, oh, you're realtors, you get money, right? Like, no, not like that. And for local people to try and survive, it's akin to, like, I've been to the Bahamas and St. Thomas. It's akin to that. Like, it's the world's playground, and then local people are still trying to, thrive and survive, and they're on the edge. And now this, how long your family friends are essentially your family living in low income housing. I asked you, why do they live there? It's like, well, because you may not need a car or as many cars, and you can walk to work because that's where they work. And it was multiple adults living in one apartment, and
so much
barely making it in Hawaii.
And there's so much of that,
These are the people, like, all the time, probably like, yeah, we could move Vegas, but we're trying to stay home, And I'm not saying that it's unique to us. Like, if a fire is happening in California or Arkansas or New York or something, or Canada, like happened recently, I'm sure there's people that are displaced, but there's this economic struggle and lack of a middle class in an island paradise. And you see it in other paradises, right? Air quotes.
And with the level of like displacement and with like a rental housing crisis as it is, where it's so hard to even find a rental, what the gravity of the situation here is. when the dust settles of this initial like shock of everything happening, there's so much logistically that has to happen for these families now. There's so much planning and so much like, where do you go? You know, where when you're home, all of your belongings, your place of work, everything is gone in an instant, you know, like gratitude to be safe, gratitude to be alive and be healthy for those who are, you know, but even for those who are blessed to have made it out okay, there's just so much now to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. The like I was saying earlier in the stream, Mahi has a friend and the husband came home and I only met them that once, but I don't know, they're strong people. They're strong people, and then your connection to them, and you telling me how they were there for you and how they showed up for you. And she just has a presence, she just has um, a presence to her, and she hugged me, right? She hugged me like, I don't know you, but I don't need to know you because I know the effect you've had on us, and so uh, her husband, I could just feel he's a solid guy, and I was thinking like, oh man, what he's going through. It's what these first responders on Maui went through is on the level of like on being first in the trenches and the war on terror, Vietnam. I don't mean any disrespect to our veterans. I'm a veteran. I remember getting letters from my friend as George Bush was declaring war, and he was 18 years old in that. Like, but that's what it reminds me of. He had. We were driving in Honolulu. Like, he had a town, in on Oahu, and he like saw bodies on the street and had PTSD flashbacks. Like, that's the kind of thing these people just went through, and we're just here to magnify it and give you the full gravity because you may not know, may not know how heavy it is here in Hawaii, and if we can get a little bit more help, then that's what we want to do. I don't know, guys, in the comment section, how can we raise more? How can we use this channel right now to inspire more people watching and being entertained to contribute? Kenji said he'll take his shirt off. Someone puts $100. Kenji behind the camera said he'll take his shirt off if someone gives $100 to the Kākoʻo Maui Fund. Yeah. Hey, for the people, bro. I always wanted to visit Maui someday. I worry cost of living. Yeah. When the time comes, I think, and this is kind of, I'm kind of out in left field on this, but there's always been that. There's always been that, like, don't come and like exploit, but also come because that's Hawaii. Like, come celebrate our culture and see it. I'm thinking like early Duke Kahanamoku days. And so when people are telling you don't come right now, it's not, it's you got to understand the suffering. When they're asking you don't come to Maui, maybe governors even gonna say don't come to Oahu. I don't know. I doubt they'll go that far and say that, but it's a temporary thing. Like, when the time's ready, like when it's time, come. Like, Hawaii as a community will be there at the airport to greet you. Like, figuratively. Let's celebrate and stimulate Maui again. That's just not today. Right now it's time to donate in the links in our description here. So I think we're going to call it a session. Thank you guys for watching this. This isn't our normal. We'll get back to positive and the mission, entertaining and valuable real estate specific information and all that sort of stuff. Thank you guys. This is a good turnout. This is a strong turnout. I think when we get the analytics, it'll probably say thousands of people live, and then this content will be evergreen. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for spending so much time with us. For all the people who donated, those who cannot donate and are just here to be with us, you know what? It stimulates the algorithm, and we get more views and more people will watch this and donate. So thank you everyone. The one guy.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and keep lifting Maui up in your thoughts and your prayers. It all means something. Many hands make light work, like they say. So every little bit of these are like all the cliches I can list, they all apply here today. So thank you guys. Donations, in-person donations on Oahu, in-person donations on Maui. Do your research. Make sure that you are giving to vetted resources. If you're not sure where to go, but you need some place to jump off, check out the links in our description. It's a good starting place. Please, if you can, and if you have the means to help and to do something, please do. Love to the Maui Ohanas, love to the community there. I wish I could be there with you guys, but I'll see you soon.
If for some reason you just came in, go back and watch the replay on this. It'll be published. I'm live responding to all you guys saying mahalo. Sorry I can't get to everyone. You feel that emotion at the beginning of this. We've found our composure. You'll see the tears. You'll hear the cracking of the voice, and watch the beginning of this and be challenged to donate to the links in our description.
Donate. If you can, please donate.
Not to us.
Not to us.
Not to us. Kākoʻo Maui Council for Native Hawaiian Affairs. Thank you guys. And thank you guys for your aloha. We're sending it back.